check this out. No one left behind. They get our Cruelclaw. Immediately Yote. We don't have to plot it this time. Hello, you're back. We swing a GG. So let's do that. Yeah. Hello, beginning of combat. Hello, we bring back Connoisseur. Hello. Hey. And we will keep this up for the board wipe that we're going to walk straight into here, which is great. Love it. Absolutely love it. If it's Sunfall, dude. It's fine. We're fine. Carney off the top. The magic gods are pleased with how sexy our board was. Oh, baby! So, we are playing Cruelclaw. We're doing a lot of fun, very powerful things today. Now, there's a few different versions of the deck that are going around, and I think that this list that I have for you does strike a pretty well-balanced middle ground between all of those. Now, there was a version of the deck with a lot more mythics that actually ended up hitting the top 3 of one of the recent tournaments, which is really impressive. Top 3 is nothing to sneeze at. So the deck has legs to stand on. And I think that being that I was limited with how many mythics I had, we actually end up building a pretty powerful package around that lack of mythics. So I think that this list is a little bit more approachable for the average player, and I'll go over why in a little bit more detail in just a moment. So we also have a pretty crazy early game package that I want to highlight as well right after this. So if you haven't seen Cruelclaw, this is a pretty cool, pretty insane new creature. It does have menace, so it has some form of evasion. And when it deals combat damage to a player, you're going to exile cards until you exile a non-land card. Then, by discarding a card, you can cast that card for free. So we have a pretty high end of the curve to sort of facilitate that. And we also have a lot of graveyard recursion to sort of allow that to happen too. Now, I'll go over the cards that we are missing as well so that you can sort of see, what sacrifices were made and what you could possibly do if you do have those mythics. But I do want to immediately point out our 2-drops. Now, we are playing Trailblazing Historian, which can give one of your creatures haste, and then Cunning Coyote, which is really good, also giving one of our creatures haste when it enters the battlefield. So what you can do, I'll start with Coyote here. You can plot this on turn 2. You can immediately, right, if you have Cruelclaw, drop this down. Assuming they tapped out, you're in business. You're swinging with this and Coyote. You're potentially hitting an Atali on turn 3, or maybe just a Carnosaur on turn 3, immediately discovering 5, and your opponent is going to scoop. So the deck is powerful. Now, I want to give credit to MTG Creative Combos for pointing out both Historian and Coyote. I sort of overlooked these cards. These are really good creatures that sort of just allow your Cruelclaw, unless they have 2 blockers up, to get in turn 3, win the game, boom. Now, I want to go over some other things as well in just a moment, but Geological Appraiser, it was in the top 3, or was in the top cut version of this deck. MTG Creative Combos was not playing this card, and he was playing some other mythics and stuff that I'll go over in a moment. But this is another really great way of hitting your Cruelclaw, and then say you have a Coyote, plotted, you hit your Cruelclaw with this when you lay it, well, then you can immediately swing as well. So there's sort of that going around. The other card that Creative Combos pointed out, which is really good, which I did know about, but I didn't really think like, wow, this is really good. This will cost 2 to bring back your Cruelclaw. Immediately tap this guy, give it haste. Immediately finally lay this for 0 and give it haste. Or, right, if you want to cast this on, those 2-drops, you can then immediately lay your Cruelclaw and go big and go home. This card is also another way of getting back some of our creatures that we have to discard with Cruelclaw. We're also playing some other cards that sort of discard cards to help us find our pieces, those of which being one Charming Scoundrel, which I think is a flexible card that can help us discard a card as maybe bait some removal as well, which is nice. And then also Bitter Reunion, which is a really good card, giving us card advantage, as well as being able to give all of our creatures haste. So you could maybe play 2 Bitter Reunions, 2 Charming Scoundrels, but I went with 1 and 1 just for fun. Now, there's some other really good 3-drops that Geological Appraiser can hit, right? Geth can also bring back cards from the graveyard. This is really, really strong. Whether that just be an Infamous Cruelclaw, or maybe our huge Phyrexian Fleshgorgers, or again, our trumpeting connoisseurs. Now, the other aspect of the deck that I want to point out is Carnosaur can be a 3-drop, right? We also have Flesh Scourger that can be a 3-drop, right? Adding to that density, which is really nice. We also have Virtue of Persistence, the other main card in the deck. Now, I would recommend running maybe at least one more copy of this card, because with if you hit this with Cruelclaw and you immediately start getting cards back from the graveyard, that's pretty incredibly powerful. But again, this is a 2-drop that does really well in the meta because it is a minus effect, which gets around those pesky cacophony scamps and those Heartfire heroes, if you will. It also gains you a little bit of life, which is nice. So that's really nice, right? You have these larger cards that also act as early game drops. The other card that also sort of does a similar thing is this card, right? You can swamp cycle this and then potentially bring back the 5/5 menace creature half later on in the game with many of these different ways of doing so. But that swamp cycling is really nice for helping us get to some of these larger cards if we do have to hard cast them. Now, let me put these back a little bit, but you could see the vision there. So we have this really high end of the curve here. Whoop. And we also have some really good 5-drops, right? We have Shouldered in here as a 1-up that, if we hit that with Carnosaur, that's really powerful. We also have Aklozotes, pretty resilient, really good creature that also has lifelink, helping us stay alive against aggro, which we can also hit with Carnosaur. So that's fun. Carnosaur can also hit another really good card in the deck, which is Gix Command. This helps grow your Infamous Cruelclaw if you need to do that to make the menace a lot more potent, but really it just clears the board of all the pesky chunk blockers, as well as getting rid of maybe a huge scary creature that we couldn't get rid of otherwise. Very good card here. It really feels good to hit that with Cruelclaw as well. So we're also playing, let me just go over some of the other 1-drops. Shouldered, this is really, really good. You know what this does. Ayara, absolutely insane. This actually wins us one of the games in the video. This can just start bringing back some of our creatures and stuff with haste, whether that be a Cruelclaw or an Atali, right? So you can't complain there. It also just is a sexy card to help ping them for the last little bit of damage. Because if we tap this and sacrifice one of our 7-drops, well, they're getting hit for 7, we're gaining 7. So that feels really, really good. I think I already went over Geth, but just another way of bringing back a creature, really sexy. So now I want to talk about some of the numbers that we went with, right? Because I don't have all the mythics in the world to make it work, but you do need to strike a balance with your Geological Appraiser. Now, if you hit if you have a Cruelclaw on the field and you hit a Cruelclaw with this Discover trigger, it feels kind of bad. So that adds some viability to having just 3 copies of Cruelclaw. And also, if you hit one of your haste guys with it, you don't feel too bad, right? Because maybe you hit Coyote, then you can immediately swing with this guy, which is fine. Really, you'd want to hit Historian so you could potentially like cast your Cruelclaw next turn and go from there, since you can be a little bit more choosy with this. Now, there are some really good cards. Now, let me just quickly show you them. Harvester of Misery. So Harvester of Misery here is a really good card that was in the top cut version of the deck that acts as another early game drop, right? Where you can discard him to have a pretty good effect, remove a creature, and then you can potentially bring it back with our graveyard recursion, which is really nice. It also has Menace on it, which helps you sort of do that last bit of damage. Now, this card is really good. Now, what MTG Creative Combos was running, he was actually running Skitter Beam Battalion. So this is a really huge creature that has a really good effect, right? It'll potentially get you 12 power and toughness on the field if you do hit it with Cruelclaw, or just bring it back with Virtue Persistence, etc., or just your No One Left Behind. So this is another card worth running, but I think the Misery card is a little bit better. So if you're going to try to get Mythics, I would probably go with a Misery card. So that kind of goes over a lot of things. We are running 23 lands. Now, one Fabled Passage in here to just get rid of another, land in the deck, potentially condensing things so that we can find our pieces earlier, which is really, really good. Now, I would recommend something very similar to this list. It's especially the early package of Coyote and Trailblazer. I think this is a really good freaking, wombo combo with Mr. Cruelclaw. You could go 4 copies of Cruelclaw, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary, because we do have, again, some of these larger creatures that act as early game spells. So I think that this version of the deck is really good. There might be some other cards that I'm missing that potentially could be better. If you do have any ideas, let me know in the comments. That'd be freaking awesome. And yeah, definitely check out that top cut version of the deck. It's pretty similar, but again, it is just playing more mythics, like more Flesh Scourgers, more Virtue of Persistence, and 4 of those, that Misery card. So yeah, that should do it. Hopefully I went over everything. I had to redo this intro a few times because it was a little bit difficult to talk about all the different interactions because it's a pretty interwoven deck. This Surveil land is really good because like putting any of these cards into the graveyard can be nice, as well as fixing our draws, because we do sort of need to find these combo pieces in a timely manner, or we sort of get run over by Mono Red. So yeah, I really appreciate all of you being here. My name is Zach. More deck techs on the way. I love you so much. This is a really good hand, man. Like really, really good hand. We have 2 Yotis. We got the Cruelclaw, so we just gotta wait for the right time. And if either of the things get removed, we got the good card. And we're leaving no one behind. Sheesh. Against Mapache? Okay, Mapache, what's up, brother? Brother McDother. Heartfire. Okay, glad we went first. That's all I gotta say. Let's do this plot action. They're probably gonna tap out. And then we're off to the races, right? Sheesh. They didn't even have anything for the mouse. So we're in like business. But they might, well, 1 mana, so they can't remove Cruelclaw. They can probably remove Yoti. Okay. What do we hit, baby? What do we hit? Give it to me. Give it to me. Akla, baby, dude. Turn 3 Akla. Let's. This is too far away. Goodbye. Come again. We could have pitched Ayara and brought that back because that would have been a 2 mana spell. But at the same time, I don't think it matters too much. In fact, that probably would have been smarter. But we want to keep this for exactly this reason. Yeah, Rabid Bite. This is a decent card, or Rabid Gnaw, rather. Pretty good card, right? Target your guy, you get a little +1 action, and then you just, you don't actually fight. You just deal your damage. That's decent. Can't swing though, buddy old pal. So check this out. No one left behind. They get our Cruelclaw. Immediately Yote. We don't have to plot it this time. Hello, you're back. We swing. And GG. That's pretty devastating. That's pretty devastating. They have to pitch a card here too. If they double block, we kill both those creatures. But they're gonna want to do it. Huh? What you gonna do? Damn, I feel bad for this guy, low key. So this is again. Wait, cancel. Decline. That is a reason. That maybe 3 Cruelclaws is like the perfect number because you decrease the chance of that happening. Also with your appraiser interaction. I probably said it multiple times throughout the video. But yeah. Good game. Okay, so pretty good hand. We like this. It's not great, but we do have the Surveil land, which is going to be huge. But yeah, we have a Cruelclaw, which makes our Geological Appraiser's ability less likely to hit another one. Ooh. Nah, pitch it in there. We have Graveyard Recursion. And we are going to need a 4th land for both of these cards, so yeah. And there's another land, so we're fine with that. And being that we went first, you could, makes a hand like this a little bit more viable. Azorius. So do we walk straight into the counterspell? Well, let's do it. Oh, dude, that, I guess I'm just lucky today, baby. That was surprising to me, mostly because this guy has the cool sleeves. He's got the colors. His name's Flantic? Wait. Flanic. I don't like the sound of that. Sounds like a body part having to do with sex or something. Anyway. What? Let's just try swinging with Cruelclaw. Because if it dies or gets exiled or whatever, well, that's unfortunate, but at least our appraiser has a chance of hitting another one. So it just gets in scot-free. There's another appraiser. So that'd be the third copy. We'll get rid of one of these and keep the land, I guess. Nice. So yeah, we had to discard a card to cast it, but then he flashed it in to make it plotted, which is cool. That's a cool little interaction there from the Aven Interrupter. And when it does that, it's basically like a weak counter or like a postpone rather than a counter. This is a flash flyer, so if it was a counter spell on a flash flyer, it'd be a little busted. Um, maybe a lot of busted actually. That seems pretty dang good to me. Okay, so we're getting all the mana in the world, which is good. That's fine. All right, because we still have cards to cast it. We just swing here. They might flash something in to block this guy, but they didn't. Why would you not have something there? Like, what do you have in your hand? Hibbity hoo. Hobbity hibbity hoobity. Yeah, we'll get rid of this. We'll get rid of this. All day, baby. All day. We could probably hit Akla. We could probably hit a Phyrexian. Oh, no, that's 7 mana. I'm tripping. We have plenty of cards to hit with it. We'll probably hit a 2-drop, though. Likelihood. Hey, there's the Akla. I just had that feeling. Dude, we're so good at the game. And then we do this as we walk straight into a board wipe. I say that and still follow through. Hey, there's this. See, not a bad hit with this. We could give one of these guys haste to Rooney, but we already swung. So, you know. And we will keep this up for the board wipe that we're going to walk straight into here, which is great. Love it. Absolutely love it. If it's Sunfall, dude. It's fine. We're fine. Carney off the top. The Magic Gods are pleased with how sexy our board was. Oh, baby! Haste to Rooney! I guess I could have latest. Nah, let's. They might have another one. They might have another one. What is this? A clue. That's right. Clue. Cool. Beza. Yeah, that's a card. That's a card. However, get wrecked, noob. Good game. Trample and Menace. That's deadly. So here we are with a pretty poopy hand, if I do say so myself. In fact, this is so bad that we got a mulligan. So we don't have the red for bitter. We can't risk it for the biscuit. Yeah. This is good. This is good. I like this one. Let's get rid of the whatever, because we have the Surveil and we have Swamp Cycling with Homie here. So I think that's gonna be fine. We really like 4 mana for Appraiser is kind of like the critical mass here. Then you potentially draw the 5th for your Gix commands and your 5 drops in the deck, like Sholdred, the 5 mana one. Shadowy Backstreet, say it isn't so. Bro, that's really cool art. Like, that's a really believable looking like shot of a city. It's like really nice too. I don't know why. I like it. Human music. All right. Yeah, we don't need another one of those. Oh, we don't have one. Kind of thought this was that. Same thing. We're good. You can tell my brain's being a little slow this morning. Did we just get this now? No, I don't think we need to now. I think we do this. Get in the point of damage. Gets removed from cutdown. Smigglesworth. That's not how you spell Smeagol. Smigels, imagine. Excuse me, my name is Smigel. Oh my god, I was watching. Okay, sorry, this is so random, and sorry if this is cringe for anybody, but like, I was watching One Piece, and the part where like they're captured by the Marines, and they're like in that prison, like the big scary Marine base. As soon as they leave Skypiea, and one of the inspectors gets like thrown in with them because the Marines mistake him as like an enemy. Okay, so let's get rid of this. I know that seems really weird, but we are now just trying to hit something good with the appraiser. I think we want to keep the removal spell as well. I kind of wanted that surveillance, but nah. So we can just appraiser here. But anyway, when they say what is it, Cordelianos? Cordelianos. Yeah, I think they're like randomly choosing a word. Let's get rid of let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of that. Because I think the hitting the whatever could be huge here. In fact, let's actually lay Yodi Dodi and try to swing at Liliana. Because I think we have to deal with her now. But sorry, that One Piece thing, I didn't even finish. Oh my god, I'm so trash. So, but they're like, oh, Cordelianos, it's so good to see you, man. You don't have to pretend anymore. Oh, Cordelianos. Bro, it was so funny. Like, his name was like so ridiculous. And they kept saying it. And the guy's like, who's that? I'm not Cordelianos. You got the wrong guy. And like, I don't know. I was, for some reason, dying. Usopp was the guy that like thought of it too. So it was like extra funny because I don't know. I don't know. It was just it's one of those moments where like I couldn't help but just like smile hella big. It was a clever little writing moment. The writers were probably giggling to themselves. Who the hell is Cordelianos? You got the wrong guy. They're like, yeah, okay, Cordelianos. I mean, yeah, we're losing all our sauce. Perfect, a land right when we didn't need it. Beautiful. AR's okay here. AR's okay here. We like that. We're a big fan. Do we lay this? Yeah, because they're gonna freaking -6 or Rooney, so that's fun. Ah, man, that's so brutal. So brutal. Imagine they go for the plus though. Get a little greedy action. Like, what did they just hit us with? I feel like they made us discard like 100 cards, but they don't really. Am I tripping? We have good 5-drops in the deck here that could. So we can transform and bring back our guys with Homie. So let's do that. Yeah. Hello, beginning of combat. Hello, we bring back Connoisseur. Hello. Hey. Hey. This is not meant. Ooh, because let's destroy that. Okay, so that we can ensure we destroy both of these. You know what I'm saying? So what's our next hit? Appraiser. I mean, we could get actually the big. That's why the Swamp Cycling guy is nice, right? Because now he's in the graveyard. So we'd have that menace action coming on down. Say it isn't so. Bruh, we did not need this. But we'll throw it down in case we have to discard it. So if we top deck any of our 7-drops, which we have a good amount of, Breach, another Virtue. There we go. Why not? Hit him with the Cruel Claw, baby. That's that Cruel Claw. The cruelest claw to ever exist. Bro, you are like Hey. Eh? Yeah. All part of the plan. Ooh, they get up. Okay, I was like, bro, this guy is getting too much good sauce. We cast this now? Of course we do. We're balling like that. Absolutely balling. We get back this and this. And then we swamp cycle because we're feeling frisky. We're getting this surveil land, which is going to be huge. We could, yeah. Well, no. Let's do this ability first. I know that seems weird, but we're gambling people. We're good gamblers. Well, yeah. See, the land was on top anyway, so that's fine. I just forgot we'd have to. Yeah, we do have to discard a card to do this, but let's do it. Let's do it. We'll put this on this. Yeah. My master plan is coming together. Bro, can we get more mountains off the top, please? I think that'd be really helpful. Do we do that first? Sure, why not? In case we get the yote, the coyote. And there's the yote, bro. I'm freaking goated. So now, yeah, now we win. Dude, called it and everything. That was kind of sexy.